Hey everyone, good morning. I'll say good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good midday. Let's see. All right, it's noon, so let's go ahead and get started. Y'all see we've started in Blackboard here. I wanted to do that to show you something that's available to you now that I just opened up yesterday. This is the Monday session presentations and class videos tab. It's right here under the Ret Lab modules. When you go in, you'll see the presentation that I'll use for our Monday session will be embedded here, and then the video for class that day will be embedded here as well. Your class is usually the one that I end up recording, so you can check that out too, just in case like you remember me going over something and you're like, man, I wish I could see that again. You can kind of scroll around in the video and see that too. And then these slideshow presentations, you'll be able to, access links if there's a link that I share with y'all or anything like that. So just wanted you to know that this is now available to you. So we're going to go ahead and start with our session for today with a little roll call. Our roll call question for the day, if I can get it to go here, is what is your favorite place to eat so far in Oxford? So I'll start. I'm going to talk about Green Line, which is my favorite. It really is probably the place I go the most in Oxford. It's a salad place. They make specialty salads, or you can make your own based on what you like. It's next to South Depot Taco Shop, and it has a little gelato stand. You may have seen the little gelato stand when you've walked by before. I love that place so much, and it's kind of healthy. And then, you have like a healthy salad and then have your gelato, which is a nice mix. So anyway, that's my favorite place. And Miss Black is with us, so she can talk about hers.
Well, I love plenty of restaurants in Oxford, and I've been talking about Sola in the other classes, but I just remembered that there is a secret grilled cheese place in town, and it lives behind the Venice Kitchen. I don't know if they're open right now, and I don't know what times or days they're open because that kind of changes. But sometime while you're in college, you'll have to go to the secret grilled cheese place. It's very good.
I had no idea about the secret grilled cheese place. And I'm obsessed with grilled cheeses. That's all normal humans are. Okay, what about Sarah Ada? Are you with us, Sarah? All right, what about Braden?
Yeah, I think my favorite place probably McAllister's.
Oh, classic McAllister's. And y'all know that was the first McAllister's ever, right?
Yeah.
In that old gas station. I love McAllister's. All right, what about Sam?
For mine, I would probably say Big Bad Breakfast so far.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
It's really good, yeah.
You can get a seat. It's just so hard to get in there. Okay, what about Ethan?
My favorite place so far, it's like a small little, it's right by Rebel Rags in that like complex area. It's called Bim Bam Burger and Wings.
Okay.
Um it's like always empty, so you always walk right up and your food comes out fast, but it's pretty good.
Nice. I've never been there. I'm gonna have to check that out. All right, what about Esther?
Well, I haven't had much time to explore off campus because my meal planning, like everything's on campus, is free. But I do not have a Chipotle or Qdoba or anything like that where I'm from. So that is really great for me.
I know burrito places are great. And if you like those, the South Depot taco shop downtown or on the square is really good too. So good. Okay, what about Hayes? You with us today, Hayes? All right, what about Reese?
My favorite place is probably City Grocery on the Square. It's really good.
Very good. Very expensive, but very good. The best thing is shrimp and grits to me. City Grocery. What about Griffin? you with us, Griffin? All right, what about Maria? Okay, what about Rosa?
I like Moe's Barbecue. Me and Shake like to go there. They're really nice to us. And
Yeah.
the sweet tea's pretty good. Their Mississippi mud pies, delicious. Like, it is so good.
Yeah, and is that still on the square?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I didn't know they were still there. Yeah, that food is really good.
Yeah.
Okay,
They're
wonderful.
super friendly.
Yeah, and I love when the people are really sweet too.
And they have a really cool Bob Marley painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, what about Maddie Mulliken? You here, Maddie? All right, what about Micaiah?
Hey, I'm from Oxford, so my favorite place, it's kind of hard. I don't really like anything here,
Okay.
but Chipotle, Chipotle is good.
Yeah, oh yeah, Chipotle is always good. All right, very good. What about Wesley? Wesley, are you with us? Or Alex?
Yes, ma'am. My favorite place is Proud Larry's on the square.
Proud Larry's, best place. Good
It's so
music
good.
too. It's just a good atmosphere. Love me some Proud Larry's. All right, what about Hannah?
I really like this place called Oxford Canteen. It's like kind of by Big Bad Breakfast. Their like breakfast tacos are really good.
The food there is so good. It's just so good. I've never had anything there that was bad. Like everything
Yeah.
fried.
But like coffee is so good.
Yes.
Like you
coffee.
don't have to put anything in it. So it's like really good.
Yes, Canteen. It's over by Volta. Yes, and across from Big Bad Breakfast. All right. Julia, are you with us? Okay, what about Brooke? All right, what about Sarah Tabor?
I'd probably have to say Obi's. It's really simple, but I mean, they just always have really good food.
Yes, I love Obi's chicken strips. They're so good. All right, and what about Kevin? Kevin, did you find us?
I did find it. I apologize.
Yay, no problem.
So what's the question I have to answer?
Where do you like to eat in Oxford?
I like South Depot tacos. Place is pretty good.
The best. So good. So good. If you haven't been there, you got to walk down to the square. It's not too expensive. It's kind of like a Chipotle or something. And their chips are so good. Oh my gosh, they put the seasoning on them. So good. Okay, let me just go through and make sure I'm not missing anyone that maybe you checked in a little later. Do I have Sarah, Ada, Hayes?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Sarah, hey, where do you like to eat in Oxford? You're from Oxford, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am. I kind of like to go anywhere pretty much, but my favorite place is McAllister's.
Oh, yes, McAllister's so yummy. Very good. Do I have Hayes or Griffin, Maria, Maddie Mulliken, Wesley, Julia, or Brooke? All right. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for sharing. Hopefully this gave y'all some ideas. Most of the places in Oxford you really could walk to. So if you just want to get out of the dorm and try a new place, then I encourage you to do that. All right, here's some announcements for some changes. Office hours, we're going to change those. Normally I would have office hours on Mondays, but I'm having trouble. I teach 3 sections in a row and then have office hours for 2 hours, and it's just too much on Mondays. So I'm going to start holding office hours on Tuesdays from 1 to 3, and then Miss Black will continue to hold her office hours Thursdays from 1 to 3. That does not mean we can't meet on a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. We definitely can. You just need to send me a time that works for you on those days if you just want a one-on-one conference. Like I'm conferencing today at 2:00, but there's something about that office hours being just directly after class. I need to get a little lunch break in and stuff like that. So any questions about conferences or office hours? Okay, best way again, if you just want to set one up between the two of us, you can do that by emailing either me or Miss Black, and we'll make sure to set up a time that works for you. Okay. Otherwise, I'll see y'all tomorrow if you want to stop in during office hours then. All right, this week's Rhet Lab module is titled Revision. So y'all have until the end of the day on Friday to do that module. The hope is that it'll really help as you're drafting this week. Think about how you revise a paper. A lot of times students assume that revision is the same thing as editing. So I'm revising a paper if I fix a grammar mistake. Revisions actually generally comes before your editing session, and it really is looking at the paper differently. Sometimes taking things out, adding things, going in different directions than you'd previously thought, that sort of thing. So take that material into consideration as you go through that module and as you're drafting your paper this week. All of this, by the way, is on your calendar too, so you can check in there. All right, we're going to start with a mindfulness session today, and it's a pretty short one, and I know it's already noon, but this is a wake up kind of morning meditation to get us going and get us energized for the day and that sort of thing. So feel free to get in a comfortable position, comfortable place. You can turn the lights down. We'll go through this meditation together and then check in with our goals and our daily rite.
Good morning. This is a 5-minute meditation to start the day. To begin, just find a comfortable position, whether you are sitting up in bed, in a chair, or cross-legged on the floor. Allow yourself these few moments to set aside all of your cares, worries, concerns, and just take this time for yourself. Bring focus to my voice and to the suggestions that I will give. And as you start to settle in, rest your palms gently on your legs or knees and take a nice, slow, deep breath in through your nostrils and gently out. Bring your focus to keeping a nice, calming flow of your breath in and out, just effortlessly and naturally. And on your next breath in, just use that breath to imagine a gentle pull upwards on your body, as if trying to stretch yourself taller. And on each exhale, just keep that chest comfortably raised. Breathe in and stretch up, lengthen the spine. Feel that gentle stretch on your back. Take a few seconds now to find that centeredness, just continuing to breathe gently and naturally in and out. As you begin your day, you will recognize your ability to deal with any challenge that is presented to you. If a problem arises, you will be able to calmly assess the situation and work out solutions without the distraction of added worry or anxiety. As you prepare your body and mind for this day, count down with me from 5 to 1. After each number, I will offer you a short phrase to say to yourself, either out loud or in your mind. Starting with 5, welcoming a new day. 4, clear and focused mind. 3, presence and awareness. 2, calm and centered. 1, awake and ready. Great job. Now we'll do the same exercise just once more, counting down again and repeating after me. 5, welcoming a new day. 4, clear and focused mind. 3, presence and awareness. 2, calm and centered. And 1, awake and ready. Great job. As you prepare to go about your day, know that you have the confidence and strength to accomplish your goals and be a positive and calming influence on all who you encounter. Come back.
All right. I hope that was relaxing for you guys. Let's go ahead now and kind of take some of that centeredness into our daily rite for today. So you're going to go in and check in with your goals. We are now starting week 4 of class, which is just crazy. It seems like we've just started. I want you to think about these goals we've been setting every week, and they should be goals as we think about our academic, social, and personal life, how we're working to kind of constantly improve. I want you to start by thinking about those goals and celebrating your accomplishments. So maybe list what are some things you're doing really well. Maybe last week you did really well on a test or a project and that you were, scared or nervous about. Or, maybe it's a social, personal kind of goal that you've done really well with. You want to celebrate those. So kind of list those accomplishments. And then you want to hold yourself accountable. So think about these things you know that you need to improve on and make some concrete goals on how to do that. So again, considering your academic, social, and personal life, I'm going to set our clock for 5 minutes and you guys just get in that space and write, and I'll be writing too. guys. So let's take a little minute to share. I was reminded as I was kind of reflecting myself of this book that I really love. It's by Ram Dass, who is was a psychologist, and it's called Be Here Now. And I'm actually gonna see if I can hold this up so that you guys can see it. But anyway, this is from his book, and I've been writing about how I can be the most help for other people in my life right now. So, my family, my students, things like that, especially now that we're doing everything remotely. And, that's sort of a difficult thing. And it reminds me about how important it is that in order to do well for others, we really have to do a lot of work on ourselves. And so I have this bit from this book, and it's one of my favorite quotes. And this book is kind of wild. Like he draws pictures and he just does all kinds of things. But anyway, I'm going to read to you what he says here. And I think it really connects to this, what I'm talking about, how we can be there for others. He says, we can only move as fast as we all can move. You can hear this message only as purely as I am pure. That's the way it boils down. I can resonate with you in the highest place I am. So I can do nothing for you but work on myself. And you can do nothing for me but work on yourself. And I really like this idea of sometimes the best way to push the best energy out is to be mindful of ourselves and how we react to the world and how we can improve that. So I was just led to share that with you today. It's what came up as I was writing during our daily write. I want to hear from y'all, though. Tell me, what are some successes for you this week? What are some things you're doing really well? We want to celebrate that with you. So let's start with that, some of that positive energy.
I can start.
Yeah, Sam.
Okay, so some of the things I said I'm doing well is I'm doing well academically and like socially I've been doing well. But some things I want to work on is managing my time with pledgeship, because I've been procrastinating work, but I'm still getting it done, but I want to have like a better plan to manage my time. And I want to start exercising more, find the time in between the pledgeship and work just to get some exercise in.
Yes, that's so important. Moving our bodies is actually so good for our minds. So if you find yourself struggling these days with sort of focus with your work, it might help to like go on a walk and then sit down and do an assignment. And then after you do that assignment, take a short nap, because a really short nap, 30 minutes or less, just a quick power nap, that can actually help us retain information that we've just learned. So yeah, well, thank you, Sam. What else?
I've been good at like making like more friends. So
That's wonderful, especially with everything that happened with your start, Hannah.
yeah.
Yeah, it really is. And it can be so hard to make friends. It was hard for me.
Yeah.
All right, well, good. All right, other things to celebrate?
I said that last week when I started the week off, I had like no sleep. I was getting like 4 hours of sleep each night. But last night I went to bed at like 9:30, so I got like 11 hours of sleep. So I just like woke up feeling a lot better this morning
Good.
and more ready for the week.
Yes. Oh, that's perfect. That's so perfect. Man, when you get that good night's sleep, it means everything. Well, good. I'm glad you did. All right. Anybody else want to share? Okay. Well, I'm proud of all of you. I said this to an earlier class, but it's true. Y'all are here. I am seeing more students missing during our Monday sessions, and I'm just so proud you're here and you're showing up, and you don't realize that that's like, that's half of the battle. It's just being present. and showing up, and you're doing that. And so if you didn't write that down as an accomplishment, you should, because everybody that's in this space right now is really pushing to show up. And you're really pushing to reach out to me. I've been getting lots of emails from you guys. And I'm super proud of the work that you're putting into this semester, because this is not a normal semester, right? And you guys are killing it. So I'm proud of you, and just proud to know you. All right, let's keep pushing into the day. We're going to go ahead and do an introduction workshop. So this weekend you were supposed to have gone ahead and started drafting your paper, particularly your introduction. I sent everyone an email yesterday. I'm not sure if you got it, but it asked you to go in and post your introduction to the class blog so that we could just do workshop fairly easily today. So let me show you, if you have not done that already, let me show you how to do it. Get over on the class blog. Where are we? I may have gotten out of there. Here we go. All right. The post that you guys need to use is at the very top of the page. Hold on, it looks like it's refreshing. There we go. So you want to go in where it says Monday, September 14th, introduction workshop for the 12 o'clock class, or section 19. This is where you're going to add your introduction. So you'll go in and just under the comments, looks like we have 13 of them so far. You'll just scroll down to the bottom and add your intro there, okay? We are going to
just like copy and paste it.
Yeah, just copy and paste it. You'll notice if you look at some of your classmates, they even have their heading in there. You know, that's fine. Y'all don't worry about some things in the comment feature. It's going to mess up your formatting. Don't worry about that. You know, we all know these are just one paragraph. If you italicize something in your Word document, it may not show it here in the comment feature, and that's fine. Okay. So what we're going to do is give each other feedback. There's a poem I like to share with students for peer review, and I guess I'm not going to be doing it on Wednesday. I'll try to bring it up, but it's a poem about revision being the truest form of love, and I really do think that it is. Like, when we can give feedback to people about how they might improve, it's just such a good way to build community and trust among each other. And so this is the first time you guys are really doing that, where you're reading each other's work and giving that feedback. And I'm going to lead you through the kind of feedback to give today. But just remember that, you know, you want to really dig into your peers' work, look at it thoughtfully, and offer them some feedback as the reader, right? So the reader is the one who's figuring out, you know, is this clear? Do I understand where the student is going, etc. So what you guys are going to do is you'll go back into the blog space for today, and you're going to go find your introduction. You're going to go to the 2 students who are below your response. So this is just a way to get everybody as much feedback as we can, and make sure everybody gets at least some feedback. Okay. So you'll go in, and let me model that real quick. For instance, like Alex, hers is posted first, okay? She will be giving feedback to Sarah's and to, let's see, it looks like, yeah, the 2 Sarahs, Sarah Tabor and Sarah Ada, okay? Because those are the 2 that are below her. Looks like Christian posted in the wrong place. He's in a different class than this one. So just ignore, if you see some comments, you can ignore those. But anyway, if you're at the very end of the list, so right now it looks like Hayes is at the end, he's going to go back up to the top and do the first 2 that are posted. So like Alex and Sarah Tabor. Does that make sense to everybody? Just doing the 2 below you. All right, what you're giving feedback on is listed here. And so I'm going to keep this screen up. But later tomorrow, I'm going to actually be in the space engaging with you guys on how your introductions go, and giving feedback where I see that feedback, you might need it. But this is what you're giving feedback on. The first is, how are they doing with their hook? Remember, the hook is what engages the reader. So are they, do they have a hook, or are they starting off kind of generally? If they're starting off generally, you might give them some suggestions on how they might engage their audience. And if they do well, you might just say, hey, I really like how you started with an anecdote, or I like how you started with a question, or whatever. Okay, so be specific as you give feedback. The second thing you want to give feedback on is how they're doing introducing both sources. So remember, you need to fully introduce both sources, the authors, the titles, and then build some credibility for those sources as well. So make sure that they're doing that. And if they're not, maybe give them some feedback on how they could. And then lastly, you're looking at their claim. Remember, their claim is their thesis statement. It should tell us where this paper is headed. Because this is a synthesis paper, the claim should also look at the connecting theme or characteristic between the two sources. So say it's environmental injustice. That should be clear in the claim. If it's not, if you can't really tell where this paper is going, you might give them some suggestions about how they might reframe their claim. Okay, does everybody know what to do? All right. I'm going to set the timer for 8 minutes. So that gives you about 4 minutes per student, because you want to give feedback to 2 students. Guys, if you did not submit an intro for today, maybe you're just behind or you're confused, you need to conference with me, whatever, you can still participate in workshop today. So just go into the space and give feedback to 2 student intros. Okay. All right, I'm gonna set my timer and then we'll chat when you guys are finished. All right, guys. Let's go ahead and, because we're just running out of time today, let's kind of talk some of this out. Y'all just give me any of your perceptions as you've gone through and given people feedback. You might talk about one that you saw that was particularly strong, or things you saw your classmates doing that you're like, hey, I need to model that. I think that could make my intro better. What are some of y'all's insights? Let's just talk for a minute.
The two that I looked at, the hooks were really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like them. And they're both very clear on what the paper is going to be about.
Yeah, that is nice. Who'd you look at? I'm trying to find. Oh, there's Rosa. Okay. You look at Hayes. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and Esther. Oh, I like this. This, Esther, your hook reminds me of one from a previous class, which is like considering safe water. You know, we don't tend to think that there's unclean water in the US, right? We think that's a problem in other places. So kind of starting off that way too. can be really powerful. Like, no, these are problems even in our own backyards or in our own, I guess, kitchen sink, right? Okay, well, thank you, Rosa. What else, guys? What else did you notice that you liked or was powerful or strong?
Both of the ones that I looked at, they both started out with quotes, but the ones they used made it a really strong hook, kind of like the two that we were just talking about.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so starting with epigraphs are great. Remember, you don't have to. Ms. Black and I both were talking about this with an earlier class. Don't feel like because you go into a writing workshop and see someone else doing something that you have to do that or it's going to be wrong. Everybody starts in different ways. But yes, epigraphs can be a really compelling way to hook your reader. I was just kind of looking in at yours, Hayes, and I really like too how you set up kind of your attributions, right? So like as well as host John Yang of the PBS NewsHour, et cetera. So attributions can be done very quickly, right? They don't have to take multiple sentences to kind of build that credibility. So that's strong too. Everybody make sure you have those good attributions for your sources. Other points?
I really liked Rosa's. She had an interesting hook with the Declaration of Independence that kind of catches the eye for sure.
Yeah.
And then she did a really good job with introducing both of the authors and their credibility as well.
Yeah, that's right. It'll be interesting too to see how she started with that declaration and that these are certain rights, right, that all Americans are entitled to, and kind of putting that in contrast with what some Americans actually experience and how it's at odds with these sort of inalienable rights. So yeah, that's great. All right, guys, just for lack of time, I'm going to show you what's really nice about today is not only do you guys have access to your own class, you also have access to the intros from our other classes as well. So if you want to peek into those and kind of see which direction different people are taking, one thing that I hope you're interested in is how varied everybody's perspectives are. So what people are writing out about is really based on their own inquiry and their own curiosity. So you can see there's no one way, right, to attack this paper. There's just multiple ways, which is really nice. Okay, let's go to what you need to do for this week. Okay, so you can take a picture of this slide if that would help you, or remember these slideshows are available in Blackboard under the RetLab module tab. So you can get back into them whenever. But Wednesday is going to be our peer review day for the rough draft of this paper. So for today and tomorrow, you're going to be drafting. Remember, your draft does not have to be perfect by Wednesday. In fact, it's the start, right? It's what you'll get that first kind of bit of feedback on so that you can do some revisions throughout the rest of the week and the weekend. We're going to do our peer review online. So what you want to do is before class on Friday, you want to post your rough draft to our, we're going to do all of it on in a Google Drive folder. So the link is right here. I'm just going to click on it real quick. This link is also in your calendar. So this is what it looks like. Let's see. If y'all are in your calendar though, let me show you where you can access it there. So if this is your calendar, do you see how it's, there's a hyperlink here as well. So finish your rough draft and post it to the peer review Google Doc located here. If you can do that by the end of the day tomorrow, so by tomorrow night, then it'll be ready on Wednesday for people to get in and participate in peer review, okay? I'll have a video on the class blog that models how to do, how to give feedback. Okay, so I'm going to actually use this sample paper to do that video for you guys. Then you're going to go in and give feedback to 2 student papers, and you're going to see that these directions on your calendar. So what to do. So for you guys, you'll be going into this folder. Make sure you post it to the right folder. So y'all are our 12 o'clock class, section 19. You're going to drop your paper here, okay? In order to figure out, okay, what kind of feedback do I give? Watch the video that'll be posted, but there's also a form here. It says peer review feedback form, and it will give you some guidance too on what kinds of things to give feedback on, okay? When you go into the paper itself, you know, it depends on how your peers put it in. If they put in a document, you'll be able to, you know, kind of highlight something and add comment from there. Okay, so that's how you can give feedback. You can also give feedback at the end of the paper if you want to give kind of general feedback for the paper as a whole. Okay. So that's what you're going to do on Wednesday. You'll also have a daily write that will ask you to talk about your experience in peer review, you know, what was helpful in reading someone else's paper, and you know, what was helpful in getting feedback on your own. I'll be in the space on Wednesday too, giving feedback. And then what I'll also be doing is figuring out what I'm going to do for Friday's class video on the class blog. It'll be based on the things I'm seeing that a lot of people are doing, like little mistakes that are being made or ways you might rethink your paper. So that's what I'll be doing Friday, so that you'll have plenty of material to use as you revise your paper over the weekend. Your paper, the final draft, is due a week from today. You'll have until the end of the day. And next week during our Monday session, I'll go over how to post your final draft, but you'll be doing it in Blackboard. So if you've posted an assignment to Blackboard before, you probably know how that works. Okay. Are there any questions about Wednesday, how to go through peer review? Again, a lot of this will be in your calendar, and then you can also get back, like I said, into this presentation if you need the link. I will probably send y'all an email reminder tomorrow with the link, and just a reminder to try to post by the end of the day tomorrow. All right. Well, if y'all don't need anything else, that is all I have for you for today. You guys can check in with me tomorrow for office hours, or you can email me if you'd like to meet sometime this afternoon. That I do have a little bit of availability, even though I do have a meeting today at 3:30. So that's all I got for you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I hope y'all have a great day, and I'll see y'all in person next Monday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Anybody have any extra questions? All right. Kevin, you need anything?
I don't. Thank you.
No problem. All right. Well, that went well. I think we got it all done.
Yep.
Okay. How are you doing on Unit 2?
I'm still working on it. I don't know what it is about it that's stressing me out so much that I can't do it, but I know that I could do it, but I can't. I don't know.
You got a block.
I got a block.
Well, just let me know. I can help you if you want to sit down and go through it.
I'm just like, yeah, I've got like a page worth of materials, and I just need to organize it into a calendar.
Yeah.
But for some reason, my brain won't let me do that.
No, I get it. I do the same thing. I actually do better with it all floating. And then the day when I'm like, okay, I cannot put this off anymore, that's like the day I sit down and do it.
Yeah.
Because even then, I still might need to make revisions to it, you know. And that's been the hardest thing, is I feel like there's so much confusion right now with just online classes that I've tried to really stick to the calendar. Even if I was thinking, oh, I could actually do an extra day on this, I'm like, no, I'm not going to revise the calendar because it'll just make people confused.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm struggling too with, I just don't know like how many assignments to give them. Like I have like the readings and the watchings, like all that is fine, but I don't know like what to make them do.
Yeah, sometimes just make them just post something to the discussion board, on the class blog. So yeah, for like today's class, what are you noticing? If you wanted to do like in rhetorical analysis of this, how does it appeal to our emotions or whatever? And then they add their comments.
So what are and I've looked at the syllabus, at the calendar from last year, but so they're learning rhetorical analysis.
Mm-hmm.
Or what else? Like it's reviews under the lens of rhetorical analysis. Is there anything else I need to be like teaching them that's like big important composition stuff?
No.
Okay.
Purpose and audience, right, is going to be big for this one because of their critical reviews. So the way that they're going to be writing is going to be a lot different than this synthesis paper that has an academic audience. If they're writing a music review, then they're writing for an audience who is interested in music, right? And so you're going to have a different tone and different style. And you have to make that consideration. And you also have to make that consideration when you're deciding, how do I want to do this review? Do I want it to be written like for an online audience, or do I want to do a podcast? And that way I can actually embed, sound clips because this is a music review or whatever,
That's another thing. Because I know that you had them mostly try to do podcasts. If I'm going to give them the option, like you can write something, you can do a podcast, whatever, or you can make a YouTube video. I'm wondering / worried because I saw that stuff that you have about like using the Anchor app. Do I need to dedicate a day to like teaching them how to physically do stuff?
It's up to you. But what I would do is like, I would do like week 1 would probably just be teaching some analysis stuff like the terminology, and then let's listen to things and talk about, how do we pull out what's effective, and then how do we talk about, like, how do we critique something, so just those sort of analytical things. And then the next week, maybe on our Monday session, we could do a workshop where they get in groups and try to use Anchor to record a review of something, that you give them. And it could be like a short something. That's what I would normally do in class. Like they come and they have read something, or no, they've all listened to S-Town, because that's usually what we're doing. And then they come in and I give them, 15, 20 minutes for their group to go somewhere quiet. And one person has the, app on their phone, and they make a quick podcast.
Yeah.
And then they share those links. See, they can share the links to the class blog, just like we did today with the intros, and everybody can kind of listen to the group links and give some feedback. And then they've had the practice just one day of using Anchor, and say, hey, that could be an opportunity. You could do a podcast for this.
Yeah. So then I might have them all do that independently, just maybe like on their own time, and then just email me if they have problems with it.
And Ellie, they can also have an option of doing an academic, just a regular old rhetorical analysis.
Yeah.
I mean, and I have a sample, like I can send you, well, it's in that Google Doc that I think I've shared with you. It has all my NPR resources or whatever. There's some student samples. And I think the only one I don't have a link to is the essay. It was a student who did like a traditional rhetorical analysis on Friends, on the TV show Friends. So I'll send that to you too. And you can post samples if you want to, so students can see, these are how different people approached the assignment.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm sorry that it's taken so long.
No, and the other thing is you can way simplify it. Like if you don't want to do anything, we don't even have to write reviews necessarily. If you want them to do an essay, they can do that. So really, if you feel like any of this is too overwhelming because it's so multimodal and it's given students so much choice and it feels out of control, then reduce the choice.
Okay.
And even if reducing the choice means they have to do a podcast, so you can, the whole unit, you can be training them on how do you record a podcast, you know, to appeal to an audience the way you want to.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. If you just, that's the teacher decision, right? Is like, how much freedom do I give them, you know, in the product that they deliver, and how much do I not? And the unit was not originally meant to be a multimodal unit. This, for most teachers in 101, they are teaching Unit 2 as a traditional analysis essay.
Yeah. And I
It's
think
just-
I think this is good, and I want to do it like this.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I just like everything's just so stressful right now.
It is so stressful. I know.
But so I will, how about, since we're not having office hours on Wednesday anymore, how about I try to get this done by when I would have had office hours on Wednesday, and then I'll send you a draft of the calendar, and then we can.
Yeah. And we can meet Wednesday too, if you just want to meet together.
Okay, that's good. That gives me, because I think the other part of it is like the deadline has been nebulous. I don't have a deadline, so my brain's like, you don't have to do that right now.
Yeah. Oh, I know. But yeah, if we can do it Monday or Wednesday, then we can also build it. Go ahead and build it in Blackboard.
Great.
And get,
Okay.
yeah.
So I'll try to have that done on Wednesday, Thursday at the latest.
Yeah.
And then we can figure out all the extra stuff. Okay. Thank
good.
you.
Yeah, no, take a breath. It's fine. And like I said, you take this and do with it what you want. So don't be so influenced by any of my materials that you do, you know, because you can make the decision however. I mean, you can even grade differently if you want to use electronic rubrics. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can do. I just don't want you to feel too much pressure. 3 to 4 weeks, you know, and we'll get it done.
Get it done. All right. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll get to working on that.
All right. Well, I'll check in with you on Wednesday if I don't hear from you.
Cool. All right.
All right. Well, you have a good rest of your day.
You too. Thank you.
See ya.